Imagine looking up at the night sky. Thousands of stars scattered across darkness. Yet almost immediately, your mind begins organizing them. You see shapes, constellations, patterns that seem meaningful. But here's something fascinating. Those patterns don't actually exist in the sky. They exist in your brain. The human brain is constantly searching for patterns in the world. Faces in clouds, meaning in random events, connections between experiences. Sometimes the patterns are real, sometimes they aren't. But the brain keeps looking for them. Why? Why is the brain so obsessed with detecting patterns? To understand this, we need to look at one of the most fundamental functions of the human brain: prediction. The brain is not just a passive observer of reality, it is an active prediction engine. Every moment, neural systems are attempting to anticipate what will happen next. If the brain can recognize patterns, it can predict outcomes. And prediction is incredibly powerful for survival. For example, early humans needed to recognize patterns in nature, patterns in weather, patterns in animal behavior, patterns in seasons and food availability. Detecting these patterns allowed humans to prepare for the future. But here's where it gets interesting. Pattern detection happens extremely quickly in the brain. Much of it occurs before conscious awareness. Several brain regions work together to perform this task. One of the most important areas is the visual cortex, which processes incoming visual information. But pattern detection doesn't stop there. Higher brain regions, including parts of the prefrontal cortex, begin analyzing this information for meaning. They compare new sensory input with stored memories. They search for similarities. They attempt to categorize what the brain is seeing. And this leads to an unexpected effect. The brain often detects patterns, even when they are not actually present. Psychologists refer to this tendency as patternicity. It describes the brain's natural bias toward interpreting random information as meaningful patterns. But why would the brain evolve such a tendency? The answer lies in the balance between two types of mistakes. Imagine hearing a sound in the forest. If you assume it's nothing when it's actually a predator, the consequences could be fatal. But if you assume it's a predator when it's actually just the wind, the cost is much smaller. So the brain evolved a simple rule. It is safer to detect patterns too often than to miss a real one. This bias helped humans survive uncertain environments. But the brain doesn't stop there. Once a possible pattern is detected, the brain begins testing it. Memory systems retrieve past experiences. Attention focuses on confirming signals. Prediction systems evaluate whether the pattern holds over time. If the pattern proves useful, the brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with it. This process is part of how humans learn. Repeated experiences reinforce pattern recognition networks in the brain, and this learning ability is one of the reasons humans can develop complex skills. Reading, language, music, mathematics. All of these abilities rely heavily on the brain's capacity to detect patterns. But the brain does something even more remarkable. It doesn't just detect patterns in the external world, it also detects patterns in human behavior. Tone of voice, facial expressions, social interactions. Your brain is constantly analyzing these signals. It builds internal models of how people behave. These models help predict how others might act in the future. This ability became extremely important as humans evolved into highly social creatures. Understanding patterns in human behavior allowed early humans to navigate group dynamics more successfully. But this powerful pattern detection system also explains why people sometimes see meaning in coincidence. Random events may appear connected. Chance patterns may appear intentional. The brain simply prefers a world that makes sense. It organizes information into patterns because patterns make the future more predictable. And predictability allows the brain to prepare. Once you understand this, something fascinating becomes clear. The brain is not just processing the world. It is constantly trying to interpret the world. It is building models, searching for meaning, connecting pieces of information into patterns. By the way, if you're interested in understanding how the human brain and body actually work, this channel explores the science behind those systems. Many everyday experiences become much clearer once we understand the biology behind them. And the brain's powerful pattern detection system is one of the most important. It allows humans to learn, predict, and navigate an incredibly complex world. Vera Human explains the science behind how the human system works. Subscribe if you're curious about the biology of being human.